Election observers have raised the alarm on alleged violence against women during the course of the Anambra governorship elections, which commenced on the 6th of November 2021. The election has been extended till the 9th of November after being declared inconclusive. Yagra African shared the preliminary findings of their observations at a press briefing in Abuja on Monday as it urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to ensure smoother operations in the conduct of the supplementary elections to be held at Ihiala local government area. Benedict Uku reports.
The Anambra governorship election was slated to hold on Saturday, the 6th of November 2021. The election began with multiple reports on the state of its conduct. While many gave accounts of peaceful atmospheres and secure environments, there were also reports of irregularities during the course of the election. Yaga Africa, an independent election observer group in the Anambra election, provided its preliminary report on its observations at a press briefing in Abuja on Monday. The executive director, Yaga, Samson Itodo, who disclosed the deployment of 500 stationary observers and 27 mobile observers, noted that there were incidences of violence against women.
Yaga Africa would like to draw the attention of critical stakeholders and all stakeholders to incidents of violence against women during the election. Our observers reported incidents of intimidation, harassment, or violence towards female voters, polling officials, security, party agents, or observers at 7% of polling units. And we note that in 26% of polling units, there were no female polling officials, and female presiding officers were only cited in 38% of polling units. We implore INEC and security agencies to ensure safety for female voters and for INEC to ensure gender parity in its deployment of officials in the electoral process. And in practice, as observed by our observers, the beavers malfunctioned and slowed the process, resulting in long queues and extended waiting times for voters. In some instances, the presiding officers resorted to manual accreditation of voters in clear contravention of INEC's guidelines and regulations.
Also speaking to journalists, board member Yaga Africa, Ezenwa Nwagu, narrated the conduct of INEC officials during the election.
Average of 2 polling officials were deployed in those polling units where INEC officials and materials arrived. This is lower than the required number of 4 polling officials per polling unit. Compliance with COVID-19 protocol. Yaga Africa observed compliance with INEC's protocol on voting amidst COVID-19 on the 2-tier queuing in 64% of polling units and the presence of disinfectant sanitizers in 90% of polling units. At 52% of polling units, polling officials ensured physical distancing for voters in the queue.
The director of programs, Cynthia Mbamalu, called for sanctions for officers who behaved improperly to set examples for others.
We call on the security agencies to investigate and prosecute all security personnel involved in gross misconduct and electoral fraud, especially the involvement of police officers in the reported incident in Olimbo North LGA. To the National Assembly, we call on the National Assembly should without further delay conclude the amendment to the Electoral Act and transmit the electoral bill to the President for assent.
The Election Observer Group has reiterated that the elections have not been concluded and will continue to monitor the situation to ensure the people's will prevails.